Hi, I'm Tom Miggott from Tom Miggott Photography, and this is a totally unexpected episode. About an hour ago, I've received an email asking me a question, and as I was about to answer this email, I said to myself, don't do it, make a video about it, since I believe it's an interesting topic. So what is that question? Well, here's the email from Francois. Francois is asking me this: when someone posts an image, a photo, when that photo has already been done in the past by another photographer, or at least is very similar to what had been done, should the latter photographer mention the first one? I know that you can do a photograph without knowing that another photographer has actually done the same or very similar. And he's going into details to say, well, actually what I have in mind is a photo published by a certain person, and I'm just going to keep him anonymous. And the title is The World in a Water Drop. And if you go then in Google and you type Marcus Ruggles water drop, here is the photo you get, which is very similar. So I know exactly which photo he's referring, and this is it. This is the photo on the right is the photo that was published on the Tom Miggott Photography Club on Google+. And so should the artist on the right mention the artist on the left? Well, I'm not quite sure, because first of all, I do not know who Marcus Ruggles is. I don't know if he's famous or not. I honestly didn't Google him. But I do not believe that Marcus Ruggles has invented this concept of using a water drop to act as a magnifying glass. Maybe did he use the globe behind a world map? I don't know. As a matter of fact, even if he did, personally, I prefer the photo on the right than the photo on the left. So if the photo on the left is the so-called original, well, I'm sorry, but I much prefer the latter one. So I think that being inspired by somebody else couldn't be more common, to be honest. Whatever art you perform, whether it's music, movies, painting, or photography, you're always going to be inspired by what has been done already. Interestingly, talking about painting as well, there is this famous artist that's been quoted many times by Steve Jobs as well, and that's Pablo Picasso. And Pablo Picasso said, good artists copy and great artists steal. I'm not quite sure exactly what he meant by this, but what I think it's maybe that he meant that good artists, especially when you talk about, actually applies not only to painting, but we know that it's a fact that famous painters always started by copying the work of others until they actually master the technique, and it's only then that they would actually start their own journey and create their own style. And that's also true for photography. You know, when you start in photography, you are going to learn the basics. You're going to apply those basics and discover how pro photographers and other photographers have done over the past, you know. So I think you're always inspired. So yes, you're bound to copy at first. That makes you a good artist because you can copy it. Then you become a great artist when you steal. But then what does he mean by stealing? I think what he meant by this is that you never truly create anything. You're always inspired by someone or by something. And I think whether it's painting, photography, music, video, the man has always tried to copy what he experiences, what he sees. And so as a matter of fact, what we do when we create, we actually steal what is in front of us, or our own perception of the world. So we're stealing a little bit of the world. And so I don't have a problem at all being inspired by somebody else when it comes to art. And I would be, you know, I would be blessed and flattered if somebody was to do some work that would be directly inspired from what I've already published. And as a matter of fact, I've done it myself to another famous photographer. Let's look at this art piece here. This is from Brassai, a fantastic photographer who covered Paris fantastically, and I really love his work. I love the emotion that transcends through his work, and this shot is very famous. This is the staircase in Montmartre, and that was shot in 1936. Well, in June 2014, I actually went to Paris, and before I landed in Paris, I had planned my trip, and I said to myself, I love Paris so much. I want to capture it the way Brassai does it, the way I'm going to try to capture something that's going to reveal the same emotion that I feel when I look at Brassai's work. So this is what I ended up with. It's the same location, it's the same staircase. It's not the same time of the day, it's surely not the same angle, it's not even the same exact location because it's not the same level in the staircase, but Brassai was a direct inspiration of mine. That's no doubt about it. And I clearly stated it when I published that images. That was my little Brassai. That shot then led me to another one, led me to this one. So it's the same location, but once again, I mean, you will not actually see so much the link between my last photo and the one of Brassai, but it's really inspired. So who is to say that it's copy or it's inspiration? So I don't have much problem with this. So tell me what you think of this. What do you think? How far can you go to call something inspiration? How far can you go to call it a pure copy of the work? So put me all this in your comment. I really look forward to reading those. And until then, this is Tom Migot saying, if you like it, well, capture it. And most of all, be inspired, because that's all that matters. Ciao.